index and why getting it wrong can be a big problem. So we have from EPA to talk about their app, Fazil Muhammad and Robert Burchard. Fazil and Robert, take it away. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks for that introduction. As you'll recall, this morning Todd Parks mentioned that the Datapalooza got its inspiration from the public release of NOAA data a number of years ago. And actually what we're doing with our UV index is taking the NOAA UV index forecasts running through our central data servers, and then Fazil and his colleagues have been developing a whole suite of Web 2.02 tools, the smartphone, and we have a Google widget and gadget. Just by way of background, why EPA is involved in the UV index. As you may know, skin cancer is one of the few cancers whose rates are growing. This year it's estimated that there'll be 3.5 million new cases of skin cancer diagnosed annually. And as you also may know, unprotected exposure to UV rays is certainly the most preventable form of cancer. So the UV index is a location-specific estimate of the strength of the UV rays, and our UV index app, which Fazil will be demonstrating, shows you the UV index for your location, or you can enter a zip code, and also some simple action steps. So I'll turn it over to Fazil, who was one of the developers of the smartphone apps, and he'll actually run through the app. This is actually EPA's most accessed form of information. We average about 1 million accesses through our central data servers each month, and we'll hit a high of 4.5 million. So it's very widely used. Our smartphone apps are tremendously used as well. It's been a real success. So Fazil, if you would, just run us through the smartphone app for the iPhone.
Sure. Thanks, Robert. My name is Fazil Muhammad. I'm a principal app developer, and I work with a lot of EPA apps. And one of the apps I developed is the UV Index app. The main website for mobile apps for EPA is at m.epa.gov. And if you go to that website, you will see a listing of apps along with the UV Index app that we're going to show today. The UV Index app is available in various formats. So it's available for iPhone, it's available for Android, BlackBerry, and as a mobile website for smartphones, which are, we don't have native capability for. As you know, these days, smartphones give you location awareness. So we took the flexibility of the location awareness and started to see that there's real potential for public, because in summer season, people are out and about, and the only device that they have in hand is their phones. So how best could we actually give them locational information with their phone capabilities? So as Robert mentioned, the Weather Service actually puts forth a forecast data of the UV, and EPA collects the feed, and we present it to the public in a much more understandable and easy to use format. So I'm going to walk you through the iPhone app. The other apps actually behave similarly. So this simulator, as you can see, is really a simple app. It's really geared for public to use and know about the harmful effects of UV and how to mitigate when they're out and about, and know a little bit about skin cancer and how to prevent it. So the app starts off with the daily forecast, which actually is a forecast for tomorrow. As you can see, the date actually says June 5th, but it actually is a forecast for tomorrow. The data gets refreshed overnight. And the first thing it does when the app is launched is actually takes the GPS coordinates, and it tries to find the location as to where you are and gives you a UV index reading based on your location. As you can see, this now shows San Francisco because Apple, in the simulator, gives me a location to their headquarters. You can also look up locations to where you're going. So for instance, if I'm going to McLean, and you want to see your reading there, you can put in your zip code, and it gives you a reading of 7. So it's color-coded. There's a legend. It goes from a low all the way to extreme. As you can see up here, there are different color gradations giving you the severity of the UV. And 7 being almost near the high end, it's red in color. You can slide over this, and it gives you a little bit of information as to what the number means. What you have to do for S7. You need to up your SPF sunscreen, and you need to wear some protective clothing so that you don't get exposed to harmful rays when you are about. So again, this is a very simple to use app. So it's almost like stock quotes. You can use it any time of the day, and when you're out, it gives you a simple to use reading. The next aspect of the app is the hourly reading. So this actually breaks down the UV by the hour of the day. So obviously, the first reading is just a single reading to tell you how the average of what it's going to be. But this is much more geared towards your daily activities. For instance, if you were going about at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you want to know what the UV index reading would be, then this is the area for that. And it gives you a color-coded format, just like the previous one, as to what the readings are. And you can click on one of these bars and gives you a little bit more about that reading, what you might be doing at that time. Or you can orient your activities based on the UV readings. As you can see, it tapers off like after 2 p.m. So if you can defer your outdoor activities after 2 p.m., it's better for you.
Just to interject here quickly, that these sun safety recommendations, we worked with the American Academy of Dermatologists, and just to make sure that they're scientifically accurate. So thanks.
And this application, or this portion of the application, also uses both coordinates. It uses the GPS location as well as your zip code entry, so you can actually change the zip codes here as well. So I'm going to use another zip code. So this now loads for Beverly Hills, California. And as you can see, their UVs are really high. And some are in purple, so which actually is like really high readings. And you need to be aware of those when you're out in Beverly Hills. The other tab, which gives you a little bit more holistic view of the UV across the nation. So this is a forecast data for the next 4 days. So here, as you can see, the whole map is for the United States is drawn and overlaid with the readings as from north to south. As you can see, up north, the band of red is prevailing, and as you go down south, you see purple. Purple actually is more dangerous because it's more higher UV readings. And you can actually pinch and zoom on this, and you can even narrow down your area of interest and see the bands as well. And you can toggle between the days and see the progression of the UVs in the next 4 days. So this data gets refreshed, as I said, every night. So you get current readings, so it's always current. So you can use this app every day, and it's actually a handy app for public to have so that they can get credible information about the UV. The other aspect to help public is we have an informational page, which actually gives a little bit of the ozone depletion and what actually constitute as bad harmful UV rays, and the broad spectrum that you need to use for your SPF and how to protect yourself. So this gives you a little bit of a background about the whole UV program, which Robert actually is involved in at EPA.
Correct, and I'm in the Stratospheric Ozone Protection Division of EPA, and as we use multiple tools, regulatory mostly, to reduce the amount of ozone-depleting substances, we want to make sure that as the stratospheric ozone layer heals, that people are sun safe. So,
yeah. So the other aspect of the app is the mobile website. So you can get, as I said, the m.epa.gov website actually has links to all of it, and you can actually go to the iTunes app from here, so you can get a little bit more description about the app in iTunes Store as well. And the other app links are available here for you guys to download. And we also do have API support with the apps. So if we have other developers who are interested in actually embedding this data into their own apps, we can provide APIs that you can fetch the data with, either via locational information or via zip codes. So that the data is available for mashup capability with the other applications as well. So please stop me if you have any questions at any time.
So just to build off what Fazal was saying about new app development, I noticed in the other breakout room there is a UV Index app as well that keys in on your daily schedule in words, and that you might be doing, for example, going boating, and it will associate your UV index there. So that's the kind of thing that EPA is interested in, hopefully outside developers taking beyond. We see our role as working with NOAA, the National Weather Service, getting the data out there and then using the skills of outside developers to develop apps. One thing that we've been very interested in is, as part of our program, we're interested in educating children about sun safety. So we're obviously keen on having games developed for smartphones that teach children about sun safety. And an idea that I've had for a while that we hope a developer will be interested in is an augmented reality app. And basically how that would work is you would take a photo with the camera phone of your underside of your forearm, and based on your skin type and the projected UV rays radiation level, you'd get an estimated time to burn if you don't use sun protective practices. So that's really two areas that we're hoping that we might be able to leverage some outside resources.
Great. Do you guys have any questions?
That was it. Any questions from anyone? All right, well, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.